G'day, I'm Greg and welcome to the shed. Yeah, it's a bit glary because we've got a light shining on the brake hub, which we're now about to try and machine up in the lathe. Basically, it's sitting in the forge jaw, and we'll give you a bit more of a look at it in a minute, but I'm not particularly happy with it. And quite frankly, no amount of alcohol would probably make me happy with the way it's sitting in there. Might make me a bit more reckless, but get me to run it, but it won't make me happy with it because there's a fair chance it's going to get out of the lathe. I'm just not happy with the way it's sitting. So what we'll do is I'll make up a couple of little collars, I think, just to secure it, and it will either end up still sitting in the forge jaw, or it could find itself anchored to a faceplate yet, or maybe a bit of both. Bit done one way, bit done another way. But either way, I think I'll just knock up a couple of collars and hold it in, because I'm just not happy with the way it isn't secured. It's just a bit wobbly. So let's try zooming in a little bit. Yeah. Let's try getting a bit of angle on it so you can see. So, a little bit wider. You're sitting here in the lathe. We've got it running pretty true actually, but I just don't like the way it's sitting. I might, that said, let's just slide it out. Let's go to the other zoom. So what we've got here is we've got a bit of weld in here, a bit through here, and a bit through its mate on the other side. As you can see, there's got quite a reasonable weld around the back here. So we've got to machine this. It's probably not super critical, but we do need to do it. Actually, I'll be back. I'll turn you off. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, this is the segment that I welded in, and that, which you probably can't see, doesn't make much difference. Let's get that light out the way. What we're looking for is not my ugly face in the background. What we're looking for is how much light you can see underneath the rule. Right? It's pretty close to not needing machining at all. I could probably even run without machining it. It's that close, straight out of the weld. But we'll give it a rub anyway, just because we're going to do it right. So I've just had a bit of a thought. Yes, safety Nazis, the chuck key is in there, and the power leader's here. So I'm not overly worried about it at the moment. I might 14.5. About 15, so it should be within a half a mil there. What have we got there? 14. Let's go a fraction more. Put attention on there. Okay. So what we might do is we might true this face up. I've got to be a bit careful how much pressure I put on this. But we might true this face up. I might give this a light surface skim just to get this and that parallel, even though it's not necessary. I've got to get in the actually I don't even have to get in here. It's got a bit of a casting recess in there, but I just want to skim this down till it's square. We'll see how we go, so I'll just grab a dial gauge. Okay, so I've started dialing this in. I've given it a roughie. I'm just going to be a bit careful how much pressure I put on it, because we know it's not real strong, and my contact points are slightly less optimum. Now, here I'm reading plus 5/100ths of a millimetre. Here I'm reading plus 7/100ths of a millimetre. Here I'm reading plus 1/100th, but they're on plus 8 and they're on minus 3. And when I get round to here, I'm plus 5. And here I'm plus 45, plus 40, and it's jumped to minus 20, but I think minus 18, minus 22, yeah. So when I went over there, the leverage on the dial gauge, because this one is long travel gauge, it's a 50mm gauge, what it's done is it has upset 0. So what we'll do is we'll come in on this face here, and we shall see where we end up on this edge. And there we have 0. And here we have minus 2/100ths. And here we have minus 1/100th. And there we have plus 4/100ths. That's 1/100th. We'll come around again. Minus, that's 2/100ths. 2/100ths. And the reason that we're getting the difference is because I haven't dialed it in. I'm just falling off this chamfer here. So now what we need to do is we need to get this out here. One of the joys of working with the big gauge is that sometimes it can be a little bit cumbersome to set up. But it does make it really nice when it comes to taking the readings. Somewhere approximately around. We can afford to have a bit of tangential error here, because we're only doing comparative readings, not definitive. 0. 0. Plus 50. So we want to go in a fraction, out of fraction. 10, 40, 25, 25, 26, 25.5, 26, what have we got there? 21, $25. Three and a half, 4, 4, 5. Okay, 1.5 hundredths. I'm not going to worry about from there on. That's close enough. Okay, I'm going to rough it down using this Hopefully it'll come up alright. We'll find out in a second. It ain't going to rough down until I put it into gear. Due to the joys of technology, we've probably missed half of the footage that I wanted to show you. I've been rambling away and this stupid camera went into demo mode. So unfortunately, you've missed me skim this, I think. I'll bet money on it. You've missed me skim this and you've missed me skim that. I took less than 15, or less than quarter of a millimetre off this face here to clean it up once I got back to where it was meant to be. So that was less than quarter of a millimetre, which is what, 40 thou to a mil, so quarter of a millimetre. I took about 10 thou off this face. I took 1/10 across here, roughly 4 thou, and that's pretty much cleaned that up. Yeah, sorry guys and girls, very annoyed. I'm going to have to do a little bit of tidy up in here by hand, just with the I'll use the handheld pencil grinder, which is basically a pedestal grinder with a nice rubber grip on it. But now we get to the tricky bit, because what I've got to do is I've got to face this back off to get it parallel to the front, so that when it's clamped up onto the disc it doesn't snap it off that way. So what I'm going to do, I think, if I go the right way, what I'm thinking of doing is turning this round and sitting it on that part of the jaw, and then coming in and pulling it in from the side to hold it. Actually, I'm going to try something very radical that I haven't tried before, because I might be able to get away without doing that. I spin these jaws around 180 degrees. Okay, so eventually, after half an hour mucking around, I've got my Mercer back plunge dial gauge set up with a rod so that it'll run on the back of this, which is the skim face. And now I can spin it and -1, -1/2, -1, 0. So as far as I'm concerned, we're pretty close on a number there. Okay. What do I do with this? I'm not worried about how concentric it runs. No, the vertical run out just doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned, not for this job. All that 0. Against it. So we call that 0. And we are touching yeah, we'll give it another I'm touching all the way around. Cool. So total there was my total I took off there was about 6 thou. I'm going to do is I'll hand finish this down. I'll give the inside of here a bit of a hand finish, I suppose, only because I can't be bothered setting it up. And it just doesn't need to be special, so we'll hand finish it and we'll go from there. So we're over here at the bench. I'm about to do the last bit of finishing by hand, but I thought I'd give you a bit of a look, because I don't think you had a good look at it before. As you can see, I've gave it a quick rub here, but that's how those rods came out. We're a little bit low in here. I could add a little bit more there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Through here's, if we're being kind to it, it's pretty damn weak. But we've got a good weld here, we've got plenty around the back here, so what I'll do is I'll just tidy these up with a flat wheel, and I'll probably just come in and just give this a little rub with a burr. I might even just have a little go at it with a flat wheel and see how it comes up. And obviously in the vise is another. Just making sure they don't protrude through further than the machined off face. I need to give that a little touch with the grinder. I knew I'd forgotten something. You could do with coming back just a fraction. Oh, there's a fraction tight. We'll, there we go. They don't need to be tight. So, and the lucky last. That'll do that there. Just going to give this a little deburr in here. So there we go. Yeah, not quite perfect, but more than adequate. And it's probably going to break again anyway because of the way it's made. As in the material that it's made out of. Let's go to the other zoom. So if it does break again, what I'll do is I'll probably just get piece of flat plate, piece of tube, and knock one up. That's probably the go. But it's been a fun little project. It'll be interesting to see how long it lasts, the amount he's going to use it. He'll probably break it the first time he uses it because that's the sort of guy he is. On the other hand, it might last 35 years because that might be how long it is before he uses it. But yeah, look, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. YouTube now have a they now have a policy where if you have under 1,000 subscribers, you don't get any of the ad revenue. So if I could get 1,000 subscribers, I'll get my 1/100th of a cent per ad, or whatever it works out at, which is almost nothing. It's a token, but it's more a matter of a principle than it is actual monetary value. But yeah, look, I would appreciate it if we can get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're watching it, please subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. Please comment, and yeah, time to get back on to the pipe bender. See ya.